Well, a boss is not like a boss, which is BOSS, because it encompasses your entire life. So whereas a boss is like workplace, you answer to them, they are in charge. A boss is someone who conquers all of their life. So personal life, relationships, how they communicate, every facet of their life.
And as somebody who writes comedy scripts and videos, sketches often, what were the challenges you faced actually writing a book this time?
First of all, this took a year. I was like, it apparently takes a long time to write a book. But I think like the longevity of it and not getting the instant feedback that I'm used to through writing YouTube videos was really, really challenging, because months into it, I was like, no one's read this yet. Is this good? Like, someone give me feedback. And so that was challenging. But it was also liberating in a way, because I was able to share stories way more thoroughly than usual. I didn't have to restrict myself to 5 minutes of a video, or I have to put a punchline here now, and are people still paying attention here? I could just thoroughly elaborate on everything I want to say.
Now, your 11 million fans online will follow your videos free of charge, but you've now released a movie, you've done a world tour, and now a book. Is there ever a fear that your virtual fans won't translate into physical sales?
Sometimes. I mean, of course, every single person that watches my videos is not going to buy this book, and that's okay. This is for people who do want to, whether it's take a trip to Unicorn Island or they want to learn how to be a boss. It's something there for them in case they want it. But it's very important to me to still have my YouTube videos be free of charge, because that's the core of my community.
You know, like I said, I've read the book, and there are some themes that pop up repeatedly, and I have to ask you about your obsession with stairs and ladders.
Yeah.
And more stairs and more ladders, and I felt exhausted. I remember at the end of one tube journey, I was like, I've climbed so many stairs and ladders in this journey. What is that about?
I think I'm just really big on analogies and metaphors in life. And I think it's easier to understand something when you think of a ladder or stairs, or even the first chapter when I say play Nintendo. Yeah. I don't actually mean you are Mario. I mean, take the lessons you learn from playing Nintendo.
But I find myself walking down the street and being like, plus 1,000 points.
Oh my God, me too. That's what I do too. So really, I'm just making myself seem normal through the book. But no, it's just all about using metaphors and analogies, because I feel like sometimes you can't really pick up on lessons unless you see them applying to someone else or something else. So maybe you can't understand truly, like, what does it really mean to work hard? But when you see a ladder, you're like, that's what it means to work hard. You actually have to physically climb something. So
one of the other really interesting things in the book is all the celebrity anecdotes, and especially Dwayne Johnson, who pops up a lot.
Who's that?
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Rings a bell.
Dwayne Johnson went from being your childhood hero to an actual real-life friend. I mean, that's crazy. But tell me about the biggest influence he's had on your life.
Where do I just put my scroll here? I think the biggest influence Dwayne has had on my life is, you know, when you're younger and you see celebrities, you think they're really talented and they're probably really rich and famous, but I wonder how they are as a person. And I think we all are conditioned to believe that celebrities are these selfish divas, because that's what you see in the media. Dwayne is the nicest human being. And I'm not just talking about celebrity, human being I have ever met. And he really, truly values being a nice person. And I was shocked at that. I thought, you are so busy and so rich and so famous, and you actually proactively care to be a nice human. It's incredible how down-to-earth he is.
I mean, like you just said, Dwayne is a massive Hollywood star, and you're trying to establish your own footsteps into the film industry. You mention in the book, or you imply, you don't say it so straightforward, but I'm guessing you auditioned for Star Wars. You're not saying anything, which is fine. But has that challenge been harder than you anticipated?
For sure. I mean, there's a chapter in my book called Climb Another Ladder. I'm obsessed. You're right. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. But it's about how, you know, in the digital space, I do have success, but when I'm trying to translate that to more traditional space, it's challenging, because I walk into an audition and they're like, so, sorry, who are you? So it's kind of like I'm living this double split life, but I like that challenge. I know that challenge is necessary for my growth and for my evolution. But it's also exciting to me because I feel like I'm kind of making a new path.
Yeah.
You know, I also write in the book that I've had a lot of really cool meetings with people, not because I auditioned, but because they've seen my YouTube videos.
Yeah, and I love those. Was it Mindy Kaling? Was it? That was one of the meetings.
Exactly.
Another anecdote which I absolutely love is when you kissed Seth Rogen and felt intoxicated.
Yes.
What is this? And are you sure you're not liable to some legal action from Seth's
I know,
team?
right? This was when I collaborated with Seth Rogen and James Franco for the movie The Interview. And I was already so nervous, because this was like way, way back when I didn't have that much experience dealing with celebrities. And so I had 40 minutes to shoot this elaborate video, and Seth walks in just completely just giggling the whole time. He's dressed as Santa, for God's sakes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I kiss him, as I had to for the script. I wrote the script. And he just smelled like so much of that.
Right.
Of that.
That
and
substance which we won't mention.
The substance which we won't mention. And I was like, wow. And I had to like play along with it. But I don't know if I was just like tricking my mind, but I swear I started to see unicorns. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I love it.
Yeah.
The book, Auditioning for Films and Television, it shows that you're definitely steering in a direction towards more traditional media formats. Is that because the longevity of digital stars or maybe the future prospects of being a YouTuber aren't actually guaranteed? We don't know what 50 years of being a YouTuber looks like because nobody's done it.
No, it's definitely because it intrigues me as a new challenge, but I definitely don't want to take the traditional route in exchange for the digital route. I love the digital space. I'm a believer of the digital space. My community's there. I love YouTube. I want to do both, to be honest. I want to have a presence in the digital space and be in Hollywood. I want to be the person to do both.
But how are you going to stay relevant? Because I guess you're moving away from your target audience. Your target audience is teenagers, young children and teenagers. But you're moving further and further away, both in age, in economic strata, in interest. How do you keep current? How do you know what terminology young people are using?
Oh my God, I know, right? They have this new thing where they want me to cut them with my jawline. It's very strange. Honestly, the beautiful thing about my community is that they're actually growing up with me. You know, my target demo has actually moved from 15 to 19 to 18 to 24.
Right.
So my fans are growing up with me, which is awesome. The latter part of your question is definitely a good question, though, in terms of, you know, the things I experience on a day-to-day basis. How can I keep that relatable to my audience? And honestly, it's a lot of just paying attention to what's happening around me, staying relevant on my social medias, and also making sure my lifestyle stays a certain way.
Right.
I always give this story of people making fun of me, my team making fun of me, because I still like to grocery shop. In LA, that's not a thing.
I mean, let's just
People
say
are
it's
like,
in a
"What do
very
you mean?"
expensive car and it's a very
Well,
nice...
you know, like I still want to go grocery shop. I still want to wait in line. I still want to deal with all those things. And my team is just like, just get someone to order your groceries to your door. And I'm like, absolutely not. How will I make videos if everything gets done for me? And so I still, the way I live my life is still, like I could eat 99-cent mac and cheese every day and still be happy. And I want to experience all of those things still.
You know, one of the things that you also mentioned in your book is the negative impact that social media has had. You partly blame social media for the fact that today's generation feels so or seeks validation in everything. Is that something you've experienced firsthand?
For sure. I mean, I'm almost obsessive. I'll openly admit it. When I post something on Instagram, I'll pull out my phone, refresh. Of course, there's a little bit of a business side to it when I'm refreshing it, because I'm like, is this doing well in terms of engagement and in terms of all that stuff? But I think we value the picture of us at the gym more than going to the gym. And it's no one's fault. It's the way the world is right now. But we need to take a step back and think about, okay, aside from the double taps and retweets, actual accomplishment and success, what does that feel like?
I want to end on some aspirations you mentioned in the book about charity work, about fighting for equality and kind of representing feminism. I mean, I read an interview of yours recently where you said coming out and saying you're a feminist was one of the hardest things you've done.
Oh my God, I know. Everyone got angry.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to just rewind to maybe 10 years ago. Would you ever have imagined that you would be part of this group of women? I mean, you've collaborated with Malala Yousafzai, Michelle Obama, these women who have the power and the influence to make change.
No, 10 years ago, I didn't even know. I thought I would be a counselor right now. YouTube didn't exist back, well, maybe it did, I don't know. I didn't hear about it.
I think it had its 10th birthday.
Yeah, 10th birthday, but I started in 2010, so 7 years ago. No, honestly, every part of my career is so overwhelming and so surreal, where I have the great honor of going to bed every night being like, it just happened today, what? And that's really hurting, but I'm trying to prove a point here. It's wonderful, and I'm so proud of my fellow females, because I feel like we're in a really exciting time where there's so many strong women that are really, really using their voices to do amazing things. And I'm just honored to witness and be a part of it as well.
Lilly Singh, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been my pleasure. This has been the best day of my life, personally.